Willkommen, Freund. I am only Joel can judge me, and this is an Illuminate invasion, flag mission, super Helldive, solo, deathless, full map clear. I'll go over my weapons. I bring the Reprimand for CC. I bring the Ultimatum for dropship, destruction, heavy control, and crowd control in the pinch. I bring gas mines for CC. Stratagems are orbital gas for CC, Tesla for CC, AC turret for CC and heavy control, and a WASP for new unit control, and overseer sniping, stingray destruction, harvester control, and the experimental infusion booster. One of the things to note is I'm running straight for flags, which is one of the main objectives, and I'm looking to do it immediately and as quickly as I can.
Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
So I've called down my weapons, and I'm headed to the objective right now. On my way there, I see a couple of bark dropships, and I take them out to get a quick base kill. I've covered my tracks with gas, grenades.
Found something! Helldivers never die!
Tactical asset nearby.
So we've uncovered a sieve artillery along the way.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Right here, I'm doing a little stealth. I'm just trying to see what's up there and get caught a little bit out of position here. Dodge 2 blasts from the overseer. Try to get cute and dodge a third and get tagged.
Sweet liberty!
Almost get killed by pugilists. And when you're getting pinched like that, it's time to rotate. That's one of the things that's important in this game to understand, is when to engage and when to disengage. Sometimes it doesn't mean a full disengage either, it means take another angle. What I did, I reset my angles, and then proceed in my attack. Another thing to note is this is a fully upgraded Reprimand, and you can see how effective it is.
Have a taste of democracy!
Sending down sentry.
Get some! Get some!
So at this point, realize that there are 3 points of ingress and egress. The AC turret is holding down 1 point. The Tesla turret is holding down really well another point. And I'm trying to keep my eye on the 3rd point right here, which just so happens to have 2 harvesters on it. This causes a problem, but the Tesla is a way of befuddling big units for a little while. It may not kill them, but it holds them for a little while. As it's doing right now, there are 3 units just staring at the Tesla and taking a moment to destroy it, giving me enough time to get a lot of progress on my flags. So a couple gas rounds, a couple WASP shots, and I'm done. I'm about to exit on some Michael Bay movie stuff.
Found something! Dropping a pin.
Like, I'm a big fan of non-engaging units that don't have to. So there's two harvesters, or there's no reason to fight them. I'd rather leave the city. I've created a big mess. There's been explosions and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'd rather just leave this area, rotate out, and find another, hopefully less populated area. And I can't prove it, but I believe that if I stay in an area, more and more units populate, more and more spawn, patrols spawn by, and just more and more attention is brought to that area. And for me, usually, if I do that and rotate to another area, that one is like reset. It's way, way more calm. There's way less units. There's no standing or walking patrols. Nothing has been generated in the area. Just the normal or regular standing enemies that would be there. Whereas if I stayed in the area I was just in, I would have to deal with a bunch of patrols that my heat bucket has generated around me. And I'd rather not do that. So I'd rather snipe heavy units with my WASP from far away, like I just did. And then go in and complete this objective with little to no resistance. In this event, you know, there was little resistance. There was not no resistance, but sometimes you'll get lucky and there'll be nobody there. The one thing I've learned though is that if you create a huge mess and ruckus in one area and you go to the next area, it's going to be a lot calmer than say trying to just sit in that area and complete all the nearby objectives and slug it out. It's just going to get increasingly harder for you. So take an extra 20 to 30 seconds and exit the area you're fighting in completely and go to another objective. That's the secret sauce to my strategy.
Throwing grenade.
We create a lot of hoopla in one area. We make sure there's a huge problem and a massive enemy response, and then we leave. We don't leave for the sake of leaving. We don't leave just so enemies despawn. We leave to make sure that the enemies are in the area that we want them to be in and not in the area that we're going to. It's a little bit of a friend of mine calls it board control.
Sending down sentry.
Here's another thing we do with turrets, is we'll set it down and we'll pepper an area before we enter. We'll babysit a little bit, make sure it's not destroyed right away. Then we'll leave. It'll do its work in distracting enemies by attacking them and taking the heat off of me as I proceed to my objective. So it serves a double function in this regard. As you can see, the Reprimand is also effective at controlling launchers. In this game and the last couple of games, I've shown that having good watcher control is the secret to having smoother games. They're not going to be perfect, especially not in an event like the Illuminate invasion, where the spawn rates are jacked and you just have enemies flooding in, even if they haven't been reinforced by the watcher. There's me narrowly escaping death by pre-stimming, and I'll go over what that is. So you have to get good at anticipating imminent danger. So you have to get good at knowing when you're about to die. And if you do that, if you're good at knowing when you're going to die, and you have a good booster like experimental infusion, you can narrowly escape death a lot more than normal.
Found something! Last reload!
That's another thing, is like you'll realize it's a weird mix, my games. It's stealth, it's ambush, it's reckless play, and then it's getting caught in situations where you should have died and narrowly escaping. And a lot of that you'll try to attribute to luck, and it's not. It's calculated risk taking and pushing it to where I feel like I can still escape. And that includes pre-stimming in situations that are going to get really, really crazy.
Squid outpost! Last reload! There's something here.
So right now I've entered like fab clearing / dropship clearing mode. Another thing to point out as I'm doing right now is gas grenades have enough demo force to destroy the park dropships. So I'm sure people were looking at my build and they're like, he doesn't have enough dropship destroying capability, but
Last reload!
orbital gas, 2 ultimatums, and gas grenades is more than enough to take out those dropships. You don't need more. I'll also explain something else too. People probably don't know, but one of the changes to dropships, or the parked warp ships rather, is that they have a health pool now. So anything can kill them, including taking a reprimand, dropping the shields, and firing a WASP volley that will also destroy dropships. Right here you can see that the WASP is really good at sniping overseers.
Objective nearby.
This is me proceeding to the second main objective, sussing it out, seeing where those Illuminate Tesla towers are, and just seeing if it's viable. And it's me testing the waters,
Deploying sentry.
seeing if it's viable to take the objective.
Out of ammo!
Look at the distance on the Ultimatum, like that's well over 50 meters. Look at how far you can launch it.
Get some!
So
Get some!
that's another thing to try to understand about the Ultimatum. It has a really crappy arc, right? But with a little manipulation, it can go over 50 meters,
Out of ammo!
which is just raising yourself up way past 45 degree, not way past, but above 45-degree angle and firing off your Ultimatum. Also running forward gives you momentum, makes you travel farther. There's that pre-stim. There's I'm in imminent danger right now. Too many enemies on all angles. So I'd rather stim and then run out of here. And find a better angle with enemies in front of me or behind me. But not all around me. This is more gas grenade CC as I'm trying to escape. Gas grenades have great synergy with scout armor. So they get confused and then they completely don't understand where I'm going.
Deploying sentry.
Just me throwing a Tesla for more CC. And this is just me guessing that there's probably enemies being generated in that area. I mean, I'm guessing correctly, right? I have plus 10 kills.
That's called democracy.
If you've been following, really no watchers have been able to call units. So if you're wondering where all the big units are, they're not here.
Last reload.
They have to flood their way in. And if you're constantly moving, it means they're always a step behind you.
Down equipment package.
TLDR though, kill a few things, move. Kill a few things, move. Mind the watchers. Make sure they always die,
Out of
you know,
ammo.
and you'll have a really smooth game.
Last reload.
Even playing super recklessly. This is my third Illuminate invasion game, and each one has been the same. It's been with the WASP controlling the watchers from, I'll call it snitching, or calling reinforcements. So, if you play this game and give top priority to watchers when you can,
Sentry.
you're going to be successful at your game.
Fire in the hole.
I mean, that's the mindset you have to have, okay? Snitches get stitches. If I were to sum it up, okay? Watchers are priority.
Say hello to the
You know,
night.
barring imminent enemies that can damage you. So if you're about to take heavy damage from a unit, obviously that unit takes top priority.
No longer available. Hellbomb. Request approved. On its way now.
This is me shooting my shot at the second objective, the monolith. And doing my trademark
Freedom.
dancing with the enemy. You know, the vocal sport that people are so afraid of. But they're dance partners, you know. They're not so much dance partners as it is like a basketball or football game, okay?
Clear the area.
Just go out there, break some ankles. Juking is a big part of this game. I don't know if Arrowhead likes football or something, but there's definitely a lot of juking in this game.
Serve democracy well. Extraction awaits.
That's a big strategic thing to do is juke. Okay, juke and weave through enemies. They'll call it weaving, I guess, and not juking, but it's juking. skulking and stalking a watcher, you know. And like I said, snitches get stitches.
Out of ammo! Not today! Last reload!
Just juke that Phobos.
Out of ammo!
There we go again. Let's just juke.
Dropping a pin.
The bolder you are, the less afraid you are to get real close to enemies, like, and weave through them. The more fun a game you'll have. Like, I don't have to juke them. I can completely avoid them and stare at my minimap and hide and skulk around and not engage, but as you can see, like,
Reload!
I have a low kill count, but it's not because I'm avoiding enemies. I'm just disregarding them, you know, disrespectfully juking and breaking their ankles. You know, they're not worth my time. Here's a great example you can see. So a stingray has just popped up. Oh wait, no, I didn't do it this time. So that stingray just dies. Later on in the game, you're gonna see stingray come. You're gonna see me acquire it a little late. You're gonna see it jet off, missiles, you know, fire off in the distance and not actually make any contact. But when that stingray comes back, those missiles have been flying around in circles, I guess, up in the sky. And they immediately destroy the stingray upon return.
Objective critical
I think I do it like
available.
twice in this game. Here's another thing, like there's units here, I don't have to engage them, I can drop this orbital gas behind and if the demo force to destroy it, and I can not have to call hell bomb down
No longer available.
and immediately sabotage that thing.
Tagging map. Found something!
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
Dropping a pin. Tagging map.
I think at this point I have maybe like one objective left. Arrowhead's been very thematic. Yesterday it was all red planet, today it's all blue. So they're feeling their monochrome biomes. That's pretty cool.
Deploying sentry. Extraction is available.
So we just had that long quiet. And just like in real life, any type of long quiet is usually followed by an intense bout of violence.
Freedom forever!
You know, like the calm before the storm. I've dropped the AC turret off the street. It's doing work. Drawing attention from me and Thief, and also killing enemies. We have another snitch. And I'm trying to find an angle. Another snitch. So as you can see, like, it's already weird. There's Volus meandering, a couple snitches trying to make their way in, some fatties just shambling towards the thief, and apparently some Crescent Overseers. No unit has been called into this area. This is just units spawning in and slowly making their way towards me. And I find that odd. I take it as an indication that during this event, Arrowhead has increased their spawn rate or done something to it, because there's a lot of units that are spawning in from either my heat bucket or just randomly close by at a pretty high rate. I mean, if you count them, there's like 5 Crescent Overseers right now, 4, along with the units I just mentioned. So preemptively, I decided I'm going to drop this, either a Tesla or an AC turret. Once I clear up and I thin out the mob real quick. I've been dropping the gas, you know, trying to clear the bump.
How'd you like to taste of freedom?
That's a guy taking a swipe that I didn't think he was capable of. I thought I was out of range, but apparently not. And almost killing me on some combo where he knocks me over and I get killed by a Crescent Overseer's blast. But I'm able to escape narrowly. Again, right now, at this time, I can see it's a little too many units.
Deploying equipment package.
I'm pretty sure that they've done something, whether for lore reasons or just to make it more challenging. But that was like a wave of units that weren't even called in. They just walked their way in from all directions. It wasn't even like they came in from one point. It's like multiple points of just shambling in. More Crescent Overseers. More snitches. More fatties. So mind you, still no units have been reinforced. You know, Snitches haven't called reinforcements yet. Not once. I mean, it gives me some time to show off like some good CC. Gas grenades are doing what they're supposed to do. And right now I'm just trying to clean up so I can proceed to do this thief.
Deploying sentry.
There goes the sentry. I was talking about to drop the AC sentry here. Or it might be Tesla, I'm not sure. More gas. And right now I'm just trying to get a hold of the air. Try to clear enough units where I won't get nagged on as I'm trying to bring the bombs over to the sea artillery. Angry vocals. And just like that, I'm being overrun. Not by units that were called in, but by units just showing up.
Have a taste of democracy.
One good thing about the WASP, or another good thing about the WASP, is that I thought it was 200 meters, but it's well over 200. I feel like sometimes my targets are 300 meters away. Couldn't stop that because it was around the corner and I didn't clear my corner like I should have.
Get some!
So we're gonna take that as an L. We have some time. It's been hairy. I've been fighting units for a little too long anyway. So I decided to dip out and let that area cool off. You can stay and fight that. You know, a lot of people would want to stay and fight and engage, but you know, anything can happen with a high RNG game. Any unit can just sit there and one-shot you. And in my head, I don't need to take that chance, so it's time to disengage. It's not like I wasn't fighting there. I was fighting there for like 10 minutes, trying to clear the area. This is me not checking the area again, not clearing it properly. Not looking at my mini-map, not doing a visual clear. Getting kind of like impatient towards the end, I guess. This is me spooked by the clock, but one thing to take away from this is try to keep your calm throughout the entire game. Even as that mission clock turns red like that, don't let it affect you and make you start rushing, because when you rush is when you make the most mistakes. That's when you lose the most games. So try to take a deep breath and calm down and just move at an efficient clip, but not like a rush clip where you make mistakes. If the timer runs out, it runs out. But it's better than making a mistake.
That's called democracy!
Right now I got that AC turret just slamming away, just flap, flap, flap in the distance, making so much noise. And that's better for me, because it means that I can go and do this siege a little easier. But again, I'm hounded by units. I go to reset my angle, try to get everybody in front of me. If you're unfamiliar with this technique, it's called kiting. So kiting means running off a distance just to get enemies to funnel in from one direction, making it much easier to deal with them. If you're hearing other non-Illuminate noises, I play in a playroom, so mind that. Some CC, quick WASP snipes, a quick kite, quick pre-stim that prevents my death. An escape stim, a gas grenade to cover my escape. and
Sending
supplies.
down equipment. 5 minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes remaining.
That's kind of what it's gotta be like. You gotta be thinking what's up ahead. Now again, like we're kiting, all the enemies are coming from generally one direction, and they're being sniped by the WASP.
Proceed to extraction when ready.
The good thing about this Watcher calling a unit out here is it's far from where I want to go. So they call the unit here, that's great, because there's going to be a bunch of enemies here, and I'll be over there. The cities have these huge walls, though, and sometimes you can't find an entrance. And because
Throwing grenade!
the Watcher has called those units in that area, I'm trying to move to the farthest point I can, so I can sneak in from the back. And that's generally what I like to do. When there's a bunch of units called in one area, I like to get as far from them as possible. And still be able to attack my target.
Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
So right now it looks like I have no way into the city. This is just a few things to know. The walls are indestructible, so it means anything like a supply pod, a turret,
Deploying sentry.
can destroy them and can make our way into the city.
Mission area.
Allows me to bust the back entrance into the sieve. Got a bunch of enemies somewhere else and not by me. And as you can see, this is a successful play. Just a bunch of enemies lollygagging somewhere else. Using that wall, moving left and right to throw target acquisition off. And getting snitched on. That life-saving last-minute stim. So this is an example. 2 rockets have been fired off, and the Stingray is gone, right? So in the meantime, between attacks, I guess the rockets are just up there flying, looking for the Stingray, but they're gonna come back and hit the Stingray. There was only 2 rockets. It takes 3 to kill Stingray, so that's why that one didn't die. But probably in a minute or so, you're gonna see this technique actually work. Sit here, snipe the console.
One minute left. Destroyer preparing to leave.
Dropping a pin.
So now 3 rockets have left, and they are chasing.
Injury?
The Stingray escapes. The 3 rockets are still present. They're just out there flying around doing I don't know what. Well, when the Stingray comes back, I don't have to reacquire and aim at it again. Like that, it just dies. It's gonna happen one more time, I believe. One thing to note too, fatties are slower than light armor, so As long as you got stamina, you can run away.
Destroyer leaving low orbit. Emergency
Just like fatties in real life,
deployed.
they get tired before you do.
Tracking map.
So you can outrun them, provided that you have enough stamina.
Dropping a pin.
ETA T-minus 2 minutes 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 2 minutes.
Overall, I enjoyed the changes to the Illuminates. They were, I mean, you know, if I'm honest, they were a boring faction for a long time. They didn't have enough units. They felt incomplete, and gameplay was just a little too easy. And with the changes,
T-minus 1 minute 30
it's refreshingly hard. And not hard in like a frustrating way, like the bug front. The bug front is it's annoying. You know, everything about it is annoying. You know, it's hard, it's difficult in a challenging and fun way. Like you don't feel cheated when you die in the Illuminate front, as opposed to dying on the bug front where you always feel cheated.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
If we're gonna go over my opinion on bots is pretty much perfect. I mean, they got that down to a T. It's been their best game, but this right here, this is fun, and it's intriguing, and you know, I want to see. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but there's definitely not all the units here, and just from this level of units and this level of game mechanics with this incomplete set, I want to say it's either going to be better or as good as bots. You know, they've succeeded here in making this front really good. And don't get me wrong, Bugs is fun, but Bugs is fun in team games. Bugs is one of the most frustrating things solo. And I do several Bug solos. I've done it so much. I was not one of the first, but I was probably, you know, one of the
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the
only
extraction
people with the select few doing consistent Bug solos and posting them. So it's not like I don't do them. I do them. I just,
Countdown initiated. Stand by for
it's a
takeoff.
frustrating game. Whereas I could do bot solos and now squid solos all day.
Democracy prevails.
That's all she wrote. This was a much higher engagement game for some reason. I think it was like 600 kills or 680 kills. I'm not sure. We're gonna see the score screen. But usually I'll do high engagement and low kill, you know, because I'm speeding through and carving my way through enemies and getting my objectives done. But this time I had to kill a lot more enemies to get what I wanted. So my quick thoughts on Reprimand, it's an excellent weapon. If you're looking for a next weapon to upgrade, I would highly suggest it. Let's see how many kills. Yeah, it's over 600 kills. So I mean, that's my third game on the Illuminate Invasion. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.